Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
It's the fixture that kicked off the IPL this week 16 years ago. It's the fixture that earlier this season kick-started Sunil Narine's batting resurgence, and it is the fixture that kicks things off for the second half of the league stage for IPL 2024. KKR versus RCB is match number 36 of the season, which also starts the reverse fixture, the first reverse fixture of this campaign to get us going on this doubleheader Sunday. Welcome to Maruti Suzuki Arena, presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout, where it's good afternoon to Tom Moody, Mitch McClenaghan and Wasim Jaffer. I hope you're all well rested after all that run scoring that we saw on Saturday evening.
Yeah, it was an incredible day, really. Who was to ever think we're going to see a power play go to 125 runs? We thought when Narine and Lynn did it in Bangalore, got 100, thought that was amazing. But to surpass that by another 25 is remarkable. Where is this game going?
Yeah, Mitch, halfway there. Bowlers living on a prayer.
Yep, they are. They've got some soul searching to do, some bit more deep diving into the scouting. But yeah, look, the wickets have been great so far. Obviously, some small grounds that we've seen those totals at, and just hoping that the wickets maybe deteriorate a little bit as we go on throughout the tournament to bring something back in the bowlers' favour. We've got to give them something.
They didn't give you these kind of pitches back in 2008. You would have enjoyed it.
No, it's been good. I mean, with the impact players, the batters are batting with more freedom. But the game's going in that direction, so no surprises. But anytime SRH plays, it's exciting to watch. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, they have been rewriting all sorts of records. They are the team which have made most of the news through this first half of the league stage. Now that we are 35 games in, we thought Sunday afternoon, why not get ourselves into a fun little exercise and try and pick the team of the tournament as it stands so far. We've seen most teams play 7 games by now. So we've drawn up a suggested list, and we are going to see how Tom, Mitch and Wasim react to that. So let's bring up what we have considered. This is keeping in mind 4 overseas players, and also we are going with 11. Not a huge impact player. We're avoiding the complication for now. So let's take it from the top. Wasim, Travis Head and Sunil Narine is what we pick as our openers. Where do you stand on that?
I have to agree. I think they both have been in blazing form. Sunil Narine does give you that bowling options also. So he's probably the second most important player in my view after Jasprit Bumrah. So he has to be there. Who won't have Travis Head in the 11 to start like he does? So yeah, I completely agree with that.
Anyone disagreeing?
No, I can't disagree with that, but I'm sure my colleague can.
No, I agree.
Wow.
All 3 ways. A selection committee doesn't operate that way, okay?
Okay, sorry.
So, we're supposed to work together on this.
I'm learning. Okay.
Yeah, slowly.
Yeah, the battle lines are drawn when we get into the impact zone. Right now, you are a team. So, all right, we have the openers in Travis Head and Sunil Narine, both of them touching strike rates of 200. For Head, it is in excess of 200. At number 3, now this is where we had to think a little, because keeping in mind the overseas complement, you see a lot of Indian batters there from 3 to 5. We'll focus on the finishers later. But at 3, 4 and 5, we've got Sanju Samson, who also triples up, as keeper and captain, Riyan Parag and Shivam Dube. Tom, your thoughts on that middle order?
Yeah, look, I'm happy with that 3. I like the fact there's a left-hander in there as well. If we're really, going into trying to pick a proper 11, obviously the obvious admission there is the leading run scorer so far in the tournament, that's Virat Kohli. But given the balance of the side and given that you've got to try to find a position for your wicketkeeper, Sanju Samson is the standout top-order wicketkeeper batter at the moment. And also, given that he holds a captaincy role position and he's got his side at the top end of the table, he deserves that recognition at this stage of the tournament.
Right. So, Samson, Parag, Dube, anywhere you differ in numbers 3 to 5?
No, you brought up Virat Kohli. I think that's you've got to bring that up in terms of what he's done, in terms of aggregate that he's scored so far. It's just, again, what Tom says. You've got to find a spot for the keeper, and it's maybe something we can discuss a little bit further down.
Wasim?
I'll probably have Virat Kohli at 3. and we've got Ashutosh in that side. I'll probably get Dinesh Karthik in there with the kind of form that he is in as a wicket keeper.
Okay, so you are going in with Dinesh Karthik as the wicket keeper. So, all right, Mitch, if you were to discuss the wicket keepers, which you alluded to, are there any others who you're thinking of?
No, it's between those two, in my opinion, because I think we're going to go with Shivam Dubey as the left-hander in the middle order there. I think Riyan Parag deserves his spot in this side with the impact that he's had, and so there's only a couple of slots there. So, yeah, I'll probably be steering the similar either Samson or DK because of the roles that we're trying to fit.
Yeah, I was going to ask my colleague here, my fellow selector, who's going to captain in that scenario then? You haven't got an IPL captain in your 11.
I'm going to give it to Jasprit Bumrah.
Okay, so you're giving it to a non-captain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, an international captain.
Okay. No, but a non-IPL captain.
Yeah.
That's left.
Okay, I'm quite happy with that. To second your opinion, as long as my, irritated colleague here is happy.
I guess
We're happy with all of you giving us different 11s as well.
No, I guess the conversation is that do you split up a form finishing pair in Ashutosh and Shashank? That's the other consideration. If you have Samson, then Shashank comes into that consideration, and maybe someone like a Russell misses out for a Pat Cummins because the hole in this side is the new ball bowling. You have Narine to be able to take the new ball, potentially, but then otherwise you've only got Bumrah. Harirana doesn't take the new ball, and Andre Russell doesn't take the new ball. So we're missing a new ball seamer, which in turn would mean that Chahal would miss out, in my opinion.
So okay,
so a few moving parts.
Let's start looking at the bowling then, and perhaps then based on the overseas complement, we can revisit some of those middle order choices. Presently, our mix has Pathirana, Bumrah as the seamers, Russell as the third seamer, and Kuldeep and Chahal in the spin department. Are you changing anything in that bowling department?
I don't think you need Chahal, Kuldeep and Narine. I think you need... Chahal misses out of those three in my view. The person I would bring in, which doesn't totally solve what Mitch is saying, but he can bowl in the power play, is I'd bring in Natarajan. 10 wickets at economy of 8.5. Yeah. And you've got Natarajan and Bumrah and Pathirana to close the game, which is pretty spectacular. And I'll be using Narine in this situation, 2 in the power play, given I've got Kuldeep in the middle, and using both Pathirana and Natarajan to bowl the 5th and 6th over out of the power play.
Right, so then let's revisit your middle order then in this case. So you have gone for Natarajan over Chahal.
Yes.
Are you changing anything between those numbers 3 to 7?
Yes. And I don't have Russell in my side.
All right.
Because I think that batting, particularly the length of the tail, I want the assurity and the quality of Klaasen. Klaasen, 268 runs, averaging 53.7, a strike rate 198. I can't ignore that. And massive amount of experience as a finisher. So I would be having him in at 5 or 6.
Okay.
Alongside with Dubey, and if we're going with DK, Dinesh Karthik, to me that's a spectacular finishing 3 with experience, and then you fall away quickly with your bowlers. You've got Kuldeep then coming at 8, and then your quick bowlers.
So then just take me through your 3 to 7. You're taking DK as well.
No, I'm happy to go with Wasim's suggestion there. I was trying to get my head around how we could work that, and I don't mind that suggestion. I suppose there's a little bit of soft, sentimental side of me was looking at Ashutosh because I just love the story. But I think the reality is if this is the final of the World Cup, you can't go with that sentiment. You've got to go with hard facts and experience, and I think that is ticking all those boxes.
So, Parag, Dubey, DK, Klaasen.
Well, not in that order, but yeah.
In whichever order,
yes.
That's your 4 to 7. Mitch?
Yeah, look, I think just trying to clarify the parameters, really, because we're picking the team of the tournament after 35 matches. So who's been the best performers? I think Ashutosh's name deserves to be in that conversation because he's been one of the best performers to date. And he's not going to play a World Cup tomorrow. So that would be my only consideration. Yep, I agree with you that if there was if you were picking a team to win the World Cup tomorrow, then he probably won't be there. But in terms of performances to date, I think he's done more than enough to satisfy that finisher role, particularly when we're looking at local players.
Wayne, Wasim.
Well, I kind of agree with him that there's only 2 fast bowlers, and I won't have Russell as well in my team. I'll have Klaasen, and also he's going to be a floater, and I'll have Pat Cummins to be on the second thought.
That's instead of Pathirana?
No, I won't have Yajvendra Chahal, and
You only allowed 4 overseas.
That takes you ahead on the overseas, doesn't it? Because you've got Head, Narine, Klaasen,
oh yeah,
who will be missing. Head,
So
Narine,
Pat Cummins
Klaasen.
doesn't fit, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
have
I'll
both
probably
Pathirana.
go with Klaasen instead of Russell,
All right.
and Chahal obviously misses out.
Just on the Klaasen and the Ashutosh point that you made, Klaasen's got over 100 more runs than him. So if we're going on form, forgetting about a young kid sort of lighting up the tournament, Klaasen has got considerably more runs at a higher strike rate.
Fair enough.
That's why I've made that call.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So, Mitch, are you in line
Now,
with your
Ashutosh has got
co-selectors?
about just over 150 runs. Klaasen's got 268 in winning causes.
Mitch, are we convinced?
No, it's just in terms of the balance of the side, isn't it? I can see Tom's point. The only concern, and then you've had to find a local seamer, right?
Instead of Chahal, because I
Instead
felt the
of
3
Chahal.
spinners were too many.
Yeah, it is too many. So 3 spinners.
Particularly when you've got Travis Head, if you do play on an absolute Bunsen burner, you've got Travis Head that can bowl some offies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and considering
And
all of
Prague.
you do have Rian Parag, that's an option as well.
And you've got Dubé to bowl a few
Dubé,
mediums. So you've got a 6th, 7th, and 8th bowling option. You've got 5 specialists and you've got 3 part-time.
Yeah, I think Klaasen deserves to be in that side.
Right, so
Yeah.
let's pull that 11 up again, which we'd drawn up earlier. So where do we have consensus? We had consensus on the openers with Head and Narine. Bumrah, Kuldeep Yadav and Pathirana fall in all the 11s, as do Rian Parag and Shivam Dube. We're going with Dinesh Karthik and Heinrich Klaasen ahead of Ashutosh Sharma and Andre Russell. And number 3 is where the final call. Is it Sanju Samson? Is it Virat Kohli? Who hasn't batted number 3 so far?
I'll go with Virat.
Wasim has Kohli. Tom?
Yeah, I'm happy with the Virat vote.
All right.
Leading run scorer comfortably.
We'll go with a split decision there.
So,
But
Samson.
I'll listen to my superiors.
No,
No, a split decision, that's fine.
It's not like that. But remember, when we walk out of this room,
100%.
we're all on the same page.
100%.
That's what you always say as a selection committee. I don't want you in the back there around a coffee saying, I knew you should have picked him. Can't believe Wasim went for, Virat.
Yeah.
And then Moods backed him up.
Yeah, not speaking to any
No,
reporters.
I know how it works. I know how it works. Yeah.
All right. So that was quite fun. I will take you through the 11 as picked by our timeout crew in unison. Travis Head and Sunil Narine are the openers. We've got Virat Kohli batting at number 3, just ahead of Sanju Samson, who will make it to our squad. Rian Parag, Shivam Dube form the middle order. Heinrich Klaasen features as well, along with Dinesh Karthik as wicketkeeper and finisher. And in the bowling, we've got Kuldeep Yadav with T. Natarajan, Jasprit Bumrah and Matisha Pathirana. Thank you, gentlemen. I imagine there'd be a lot more slashes and a lot more debate, but this was a very civil selection panel. I'm proud to have been a part of it. Thank you. We do shift our attention now to the match at hand, KKR versus RCB, the first reverse fixture of the season. The toss has taken place. RCB have won and they will be bowling first in this day game at Eden Gardens. Let's take you through the lineups and see what changes are in store for us. RCB have made the changes. They will go, Cam Green comes back, Mohammad Siraj, who didn't play the last game, comes back, and Karan Sharma, who hasn't featured much since the start of the season, is also back. Take us through that. Wasim.
So Wasim spoke about yesterday, didn't you? You spoke about RCB. If they're going to win, they're going to bat second.
Yeah, they
so
have
you've got
to,
your
yeah.
wish.
So yeah, I'm happy with that. Cameron Green coming back, batting at unfamiliar position, but I think he needs to play. You spend so much money. I don't think he can bat at 3 with Will Jacks being there, even though he's also batting out of his position. He generally opens, but you can't replace Faf. But I pretty much like the squad that I see.
Mitch, thoughts on how RCB have lined up? They go in with the additional bowling options this time, with Green and Lomror both featuring in the 11. And I guess between Suyash Prabhu-Desai and Anuj Rawat, they will have their options when they come out to bat.
Throwing darts at a dartboard, aren't they? Just hoping they hit the bullseye. That's what's going on. It's a bit of a mess. It's they've made a decision. I like the 2 overseas bowler option. I thought Reece Topley was good in patches. Lockie Ferguson only bowled the 1 game. I thought that variation, particularly to a power hitting lineup, you need that variation of left hand, right hand experience to be able to counter that. So, yeah, it's interesting. They obviously feel like they're just purely going to set up to chase second every game if they can now.
Good. Reece Topley missing out. Could he have been the kind of bowler who could perhaps trouble Sunil Narine, which is something all teams are looking for?
Well, everyone's looking for a solution to Sunil Narine. I don't think Reece Topley specifically is the bowler. If anyone, I thought maybe, I think Lockie Ferguson's probably the one that's the best matchup against Sunil Narine. High pace, that's got good change up. Also familiar with bowling at Eden Gardens, would be an advantage. But I agree with Wasim in that this is RCB's best chance to win this game. At long odds, but they're a chance to win at chasing. That's for sure. I'd be interested to know whether Maxwell is actually available for selection. I know that he withdrew himself from selection. What was about a week ago now. I just wonder whether he re-emerged and presented himself. Look, I'm ready to go. And if he was ready to go, I would have played him ahead of Green, purely because I think, given it's a used surface, I believe they're playing at Eden Gardens, I think Maxwell's all-round package is more attractive in that situation. And let's face it, if RCB are going to pull off a miracle and suddenly win a run of games and find themselves in the top 4, I think there's more chance of them doing it with him having Maxwell just having an absolute purple patch and playing at a level that we know he's capable of doing.
I believe Maxwell, from what he's been saying in the media, was still maybe a few days away from ending that break. So perhaps the next RCB game, we will see whether or not Maxwell's back in the mix. But let's see if KKR have made any changes. No, they haven't. It's been going well for them. More often than not, Rinku Singh, who's been on the impact bench because they've been fielding first, he features as they bat first this time at Eden. This, remember, is the second day game happening at Eden Gardens. The last one saw KKR chase quite comfortably against Lucknow, who they'd kept down to 160. Vaibhav Arora had featured then, and they're keeping the options open, Wasim, on the bowling sub that they could make with Suyash, Anukul and Vaibhav all over there.
Yeah, being a day game, you could see spin also could play a part in the second half because there's not going to be any dew. So you might see Suyash, you might see Anukul as well. And if they feel they need another seamer, they've got Vaibhav. So I think they've got all bases covered. They look a very solid unit.
Yeah, I think that the obvious one that comes in for that team is Anukul Roy. Left arm spin is a good matchup, as we know. We seem to say that every time that there's an RCB game, but the facts are there that it is a good matchup. And he's played just the 1 game and bowled really well, even though he bowled 2 overs, but bowled 2 overs, 6 runs. So that was a tick. And he also, it's interesting, he's not named in their team. They're reserving the right, I think, just to have a look at the surface because he can bat as well, can't he?
Yeah, and those 2 overs for 6 runs had come in the reverse fixture against RCB.
And RCB are right-hand dominated side, so it makes sense to play a left-arm spinner.
So KKR keeping their options open as they hope for another win at home. Now, before we move ahead and start focusing a bit on Sunil Narine, the batter, we've got some games lined up for you all. Sunday afternoon, we thought, why not throw in
Sunday
midterm quiz. We're playing a fact or fiction, and it's based around things that have or have not happened in this season. You guys just have to pick your fact or fiction. Quite obviously, no passovers in this. And I will begin with you, Wasim. R. Ashwin has faced more deliveries than Shimron Hetmeyer.
Fact.
It is fact. Ashwin has faced 46 balls and Hetmeyer has played 36. What that says about Rajasthan's batting selections, we'll talk about the next time they're playing. But Mitch, Glenn Maxwell is RCB's leading wicket taker so far.
Oh, yes, he is.
You get that wrong. That is fiction.
He was before the last game,
almost there. Glenn Maxwell is on 4 and Yash Dayal with 5 wickets is just ahead of him. Tom, Ashutosh Sharma.
What, mate? He was before the last game.
I'm laughing.
Stop laughing at me.
No, I'm going to get it wrong, so that's
I hope you get it wrong.
I know you do.
Ashutosh Sharma
Yes.
is Punjab's leading run getter.
I think that is not true.
You are correct. You do get the point. It is fiction. Ashutosh Sharma is second on the list for Punjab. He has 156, but his partner, Shashank Singh,
Yeah.
with 187, tops the charts for Punjab as things stand. Wasim, Lucknow and Gujarat are the only teams to have not made a 200-plus score yet.
Lucknow and Gujarat. Yes, they are.
And you are correct. It is fact. All 8 teams have crossed 200 at least once. Sunrisers, of course, have gone and made 250 for fun. And we speak about Sunrisers as we come to you, Mitch. Sunrisers Hyderabad have already crossed their tally for the most sixes they have ever hit in an IPL season.
Getting a tough ones, man.
Yeah, I know. Don't get it stitched up
Wasim,
here.
don't.
I'm going to say that's fiction.
I was hoping you said fact.
How? Halfway through the season?
Because after the events of the last few games, SRH have 99 sixes from 7 games. Their previous best in a season was 97 in 2020.
Mate, what are they playing test cricket up there? What's going on?
That's not going to get you points.
Eh?
Finally, Tom, 15 scores of 200 or more so far this season. It is already the highest for any IPL season.
That's fact.
That is fact. 2024 is already level with 2023, where 15 200-plus totals were made in 74 games. We've got there in only 35. Goodness knows what's in store for the rest of the season. And there are already more 240-plus totals this season than all previous editions of the IPL combined. Well done, gentlemen. Points added to 2 tallies.
That was a
Mitch,
stupid game.
the impact zone. The impact zone is where you make your way back. Speaking of impact, Sunil Narine. His batting resurgence has been such a theme of the first half of this season. It began in the reverse fixture when KKR had travelled to the Chinnaswamy to play RCB, where he made 47 of 22. And how Narayan's kept going is well reflected in the fact that the impact rating, as per ESPN Cricinfo Smart Stats, has Narine right on top, quite clear, some way clear of Jasprit Bumrah, who's in second, and Travis Head, who's climbed up to third. It makes sense given what Narayan's season has been so far.
It is, yeah. I mean, he's been a phenomenal performer over the years, but this season has been absolutely brilliant, both with the bat, with the ball. His consistency with the bat has amazed me. And the way he's bowled miserly, in the high-scoring games, not giving even a double level on boundaries and sixes, even after obviously playing for so many years, is astounding.
When you look at that top 5, we'll draw that back again. Is it an accurate enough reflection to you for the players who've had the most impact on this season halfway through?
We're going to bring those
Yeah,
up.
we'll bring it up. It is Sunil Narine who's number 1. Jasprit
Yeah, well, he
Bumrah.
was comfortably number 1. I totally agree with that. He's had an extraordinary impact on games. Bumrah has had an extraordinary impact on games, but not always on a winning cause, which is not his fault. Where Travis Head, I think, probably would deserve to be in that second position, because I think what Travis Head has done at Sunrisers has been nothing short of extraordinary, because you only have to look at, he didn't play in the first game, so they didn't see him in the best 11 in the first game. and it hasn't been until he's been included in that side that they have adopted this, brand of cricket, which is just looking to take on every single ball and hit it for 4 or 6. And everyone has sort of caught fire because of that. Abhishek Sharma, has benefited from that freedom as well. And then you've got a batting lineup that naturally gravitates towards that style of play. The only one that's slightly out of kilter is Markram, but Markram's still got the ability to hit the ball out of the ground as well as anyone. So to me, if you talk about influence and impact on the team, I think Travis Head has had an extraordinary impact on Sunrisers.
And now Sunil Narine comes up against the side which has been his favourite opponent as a batter in the IPL. Against RCB, 7 innings, a strike rate over 200, 47 of 22 in the last outing. Mitch, you touched upon in the preview that you'd like to see Lockie Ferguson open the bowling. Is that the way RCB approach this if they are to try and stop Narine?
Well, I hope so. I really hope so. Look, he's a new ball bowler in my opinion. He takes wickets at the top and can devastate an opposition in the power play. So, fingers crossed, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be Siraj will take the new ball, and they'll go Yash Jha as well. So, so it's not going to change too much from what they've been operating, I don't think.
Yeah, that didn't work out much for RCB when they met KKR last. Let's see what they do this time. And before the game begins, let's head into the impact zone. The drill is that our expert picked 3 players, each 1 batter, 1 bowler and a wild card. Impact points for each player are counted as per ESPN Cricket Info Smart Stats, and the expert with the highest points tally for each match gets 3 points in their season tally. After the events of yesterday, which saw Wasim Jaffer break a record, it has really got close up top. Wasim has caught up with 2 impact zone wins in the last 2 days and also landed a couple of outrageous picks which have seen his rating shoot up to 2.55. So, Tom, he has closed the gap, and Mitch...
Yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah.
He had a very good day yesterday.
Yeah. Mitch had a hat-trick earlier this week, so you could be catching up soon as well.
Now I failed that quiz, so that's great.
That's all right. You have enough chances. I have to keep reminding you that you've got 1 season outrageous which has landed, which will come up in the points tally later.
True.
Let's get to the impact zone. Tom, you get the first pick this time.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, I'll go for Sunil Narine, thank you.
All right. Narine for Tom. We go to you next, Mitch.
Andre Russell.
Russell for you. Wasim.
I'm going to go Kohli.
Kohli. All right. Let's go into bowlers. Mitch.
Bowlers, I'm going to go with Harshit Rana.
Harshit Rana for Mitch. Wasim.
I'm going to go Varun.
Varun Chakravarti. Tom, to you.
Yeah, very interesting one, that. It just stole it from me. I'm actually going to go with Lockie Ferguson.
Lockie Ferguson is Tom's bowler, and wildcard starting with you, Wasim.
I'm going to go Phil Salt.
Phil Salt. You're backing him. You've been picking him the last few games. Tom.
I'll go for Will Jacks.
Will Jacks for Tom, and finally Mitch.
Jeez, there's not much left, is there?
Could we have the
I'll go for Faf du Plessis.
Faf du Plessis. All right. That's all locked and loaded. Before things begin, let's quickly get a score prediction and an outrageous pick for the innings. Tom.
I think the score is going to be 178. And outrageous prediction is that Will Jacks is going to score his first IPL 50 or more.
All right. 50 plus for Will Jacks. Mitch.
I think the score is going to be 218, and Andre Russell is going to get 40 plus, or he's going to get 240 off less than 24 balls.
40 of less than 24.
So what? Just go to his normal strike
Under
rate.
us is
Normal strike.
regular
Oh,
strike
let's
rate.
say I'll go 20 then. 20 is
40 of less than 20. All right, Wasim.
Karan Sharma to take 2 wickets
Okay.
and another 200 run score.
2 wickets. It's
So
got to be 3.
two wickets
Two
for a
is-
specialist spinner.
Is
Gotta be
bold.
3.
2 is not an outrageous.
Outrageous.
So three.
Maybe
three.
throw in economy or add a wicket.
3.
Okay.
I'll go 3.
Karan to take 3
Sneaky,
and your
sneaky
score.
was him, isn't he? Sneaky. Just gentle voice, just sneaky. Just tries to slide that one in underneath without us knowing.
200 plus total. Shall I give number?
I'll need a specific one.
208.
208. Okay. 178 says Tom. 208 says Wasim. 218 says Mitch. The only day game here had seen Lucknow score 161. So let's see how that fares. Thank you, gentlemen, for your company to kick things off this Sunday doubleheader afternoon for us. We will be back at halftime once this KKR innings is done. So be sure to join us then on Maruti Suzuki Arena, presents ESPN Cricket Info Timeout. And if you haven't already, go download the ESPN Cricket Info mobile app. It'll have you covered through this innings. Be sure to join us right at the end of the KKR innings.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the City Bread